There was once a young man named Aaron who lived in a small village nestled in the mountains. Life had not been kind to him. He had lost his parents when he was very young, and since then, he had struggled to make ends meet. He worked hard every day, tending to the fields, fixing fences, and doing whatever he could to survive. But despite his efforts, he felt like something was always missing. One day, while walking through the village, Aaron came across an old potter working at his wheel. The potter's hands were covered in clay, and his face was lined with years of experience and wisdom. Aaron watched him for a while, admiring the skill and care that went into shaping each pot. Finally, the potter noticed him and said, "Would you like to learn how to make a pot?" Aaron, eager to learn something new, agreed, and the potter began to teach him the craft. Day after day, Aaron worked alongside the potter, shaping and molding the clay. But no matter how hard he tried, his pots always seemed to crack or break during the firing process. It was frustrating. He watched as the potter's pots came out perfect, smooth, and strong, while his own always fell short. One day, after yet another failed attempt, Aaron became discouraged. "I'm just not good enough," he said, throwing his hands up in frustration. "I'll never be able to do this. I'm not skilled like you. I'll never make a perfect pot." The potter looked at him with calm eyes and said, "Let me show you something." He took one of Aaron's failed pots, which had cracked during the firing, and carefully placed it on the shelf next to his perfect creations. Then he took a small brush and began painting the cracks of the pot with gold. The cracks shimmered in the light, highlighting the imperfections in a beautiful way. "This is called Kintsugi," the potter said. "In Japan, when pottery breaks, it is not discarded. Instead, it is repaired with gold, creating something even more valuable than it was before. The cracks become part of the story, and the imperfections are what make the piece unique." Aaron stared at the pot in awe. It was beautiful, more beautiful than any of the perfect pots he had seen. The potter smiled and said, "You see, Aaron, life is like that. We all face challenges, and we all experience moments of failure and loss. But it's how we respond to those challenges that define us. When we embrace our flaws and imperfections, when we allow ourselves to grow from our mistakes, we become stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than we could have been without them." Aaron realized in that moment that he had been focusing too much on his failures, on the cracks that he thought made him less than others. But just like the broken pot, it was those very cracks that would shape him into someone stronger, more resilient, and more compassionate. The story of Aaron and the potter teaches us that life is full of imperfections and challenges, but it's through these struggles that we learn, grow, and become more resilient. Failure doesn't define us. How we rise from it does. Just like the broken pot, our imperfections can be transformed into something beautiful and valuable if we choose to embrace them. Life is not about avoiding mistakes or seeking perfection. It's about resilience, embracing the cracks, and understanding that every setback is an opportunity for growth. Our imperfections make us unique, and it's through our struggles that we often find our true strength. Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not trying and not growing through the experience. Embrace your flaws and let them become part of your story, just like the gold in a broken pot.